Hey guys, DC Network here, coming at you with another video. Cartoon Network has had a lot of iconic series throughout its history. One of the more iconic shows coming out of the 2010s being Adventure Time. And obviously Adventure Time has been a huge moneymaker for Cartoon Network. It went on for 10 seasons that spanned all the way from 2010 to 2019. It had some mini-series within the series itself, and it even went on to have a spin-off show in Distant Lands as well on HBO Max. So Cartoon Network has shown that since the series ended back in 2019, they still want to keep the brand of Adventure Time alive. They want to keep this property going with some spin-off series along the way. And obviously, like I said before, we had Adventure Time Distant Lands, and back in August of 2021, they actually announced another spin-off series in the form of Fiona and Cake, which would be premiering on HBO Max sometime in the future. Of course, typical Cartoon Network, they didn't say when in the future, but we just know that the series is coming at some point. And obviously we're sitting here today, and it's been a year and a half, over a year and a half actually, since that announcement happened, and yet we have no idea what the future of that series is, if it's even coming at all. Back when it was announced, Cartoon Network had said this was going to be the first adult-oriented Adventure Time series, which is an interesting thing for them to say because, you know, the whole series Adventure Time is very much a more mature series in a lot of ways, with some more mature themes in them. And so for them to say that Fiona and Cake was going to be, you know, targeting young adults, and it's going to be a show that's much more serious and meant for older audiences, really piqued a lot of people's interest, because what does that mean for this series? If the regular Adventure Time is the way it is, then how much more mature and how much more serious is Fiona and Cake going to be? Anyways, the whole reason I'm making today's video is because what exactly is the future of Adventure Time right now? Because as we know, Fiona and Cake, like I said, it was announced back in August of 2021, but a lot's happened since then. There was an entire merger between Discovery and Warner Media, finding the new Warner Brothers Discovery, and obviously, since that merger happened, a lot of shows have been canceled coming out of it, so who's to say that Fiona and Cake is even coming at all anymore? I do think that Fiona and Cake will still come, because Adventure Time, like I said, it's such a big property for Cartoon Network. It's clearly their favorite property that they've made out of the 2010s, and I say favorite property because they don't really show the same amount of respect or the amount of love for a show like Regular Show, when in all honesty, I feel like Regular Show and Adventure Time were hand in hand on the network for a while. I know that overall the bigger brand is Adventure Time, but still a lot of people liked Regular Show as well. I do think that because Cartoon Network shows favoritism towards Adventure Time, that we will get more. If it's not Fiona and Cake, it will be something else, but I do think Fiona and Cake is still coming. But it's a matter of, you know, beyond that even, what is the future of this franchise? Are they going to try to keep doing more and more spin-off series, one after another? Because obviously we saw Distant Lands come out very closely after the finale of the show aired. I believe it was like a year and a half between the finale and the premiere of Distant Lands, and I was a person who honestly, I felt like, look, I liked Adventure Time, I liked it a lot, but I felt like once the finale ended, I felt like it was Adventure Time's time, you know. I felt like after a while the quality went down for this series. I was ready for it to move on and for it to end and, you know, move on to some other Cartoon Network series. And then once the show did end, I was like, okay, it's over now. This is an end of an era for Cartoon Network. It's kind of crazy because this show's been on the air for almost 10 years, so it's kind of crazy to see it gone, and then all of a sudden Cartoon Network announces a spin-off series for it, and I'm like, okay, this series literally just ended. Can we at least give it like 3 to 5 years to just like be there and rest, and then when nostalgia kicks in, announce something new and then get more people involved in the series? But instead, Cartoon Network is trying to churn out as much Adventure Time content as they can. We got Distant Lands, now we're getting Fiona and Cake, which I don't know if I have ever really said this on the channel, but I was never really the biggest fan of the Fiona and Cake episodes. Like the first one I thought was really cool. I thought it was a great concept to just gender swap all the characters, but after that I was like, I really don't want to see more with these characters, and obviously now we're getting a whole spin-off series on it. We'll see how it turns out, because like I said, they said it's going to be more mature, it's going to be more adult oriented than regular Adventure Time is, so we'll see how that all turns out. That's definitely something to look forward to. In addition to that, they actually did say it's going to be 10 half-hour long episodes, so it's going to be a longer form series than the regular Adventure Time, so it definitely is something that has potential, but it's not something that I really wanted to see, and I'm not really super excited for it, as opposed to maybe something else in the Adventure Time world. So then that begs the question, what's next after Fiona and Cake? Because I I assume that Cartoon Network's going to keep on churning out Adventure Time content, because like I said before, they do show some favoritism towards this series. So I wonder, how far do they go with it? Do they make prequel series, maybe showing the Great Mushroom Wars in the past? Do they make some sort of sequel series following the two characters that we saw in the finale thousands of years after the current Adventure Time happened, after Finn and Jake walked the land of Ooo? Where do they go with it? It's something that I think is interesting to see, and look, I really do hope that they handle it well. I wasn't the biggest fan of Distant Lands. In all honesty, I really didn't like the majority of the episodes. There were 4 in total, and I remember really enjoying, I think it was the one with Peppermint Butler, and then the one with Finn and Jake I thought was good as well. But otherwise, the one with BMO, the one with Princess Bubblegum and Marceline, I wasn't really a fan of them. I kind of felt like they're just doing this, they're just making these episodes just to milk Adventure Time, just to milk the brand, because they know it's going to get a lot of people to watch it because of how popular the series was. So in all honesty, I don't really want them to make a ton of more Adventure Time content, but I'm sure they're going to, and I am curious to see where they take it and what they do with Adventure Time, because right now we're kind of just in a waiting period to see what happens with Fiona and Cake. Does it eventually come out? How good is it? And then where do they take the franchise from there? Do they actually end it there and stop making Adventure Time content? And if I had to wager, I'd say they'd probably keep on making more series, and we'll just see where the franchise is in 5 years from now, because it might be one of the bigger brands for Cartoon Network coming out of this merger, because right now, outside of honestly anything, they don't really have anything right now that's a big moneymaker for them other than Teen Titans Go, if you want to count that, but that's skewed towards a much younger audience. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about all of this. What do you guys think is the future of Adventure Time? And are you like me, that you kind of wish Cartoon Network would just give this series a break for a little bit and just let it rest? If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this from DC Network. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.